Hello everybody and welcome to Berringer, and I have a layout update for you and also a bit of a how-to also will be tacked onto this video, and it's to do with no frills weathering, and I'll explain that to you what I'm going to be doing shortly. First, the layout update. I've fixed in the building and I've also weathered it up. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, and I'm pretty happy with the weathering. I've never really done it before, so it might not necessarily be the best, but I'm happy with it. I haven't finished this side actually, so you can sort of have a bit of a comparison of what it's like on that side to what we have here, and I think it looks suitably grimed up. I've actually attached the building as well. That's now in, so that's now snugly fit in there, and also I've done the cobblestones here and weathered that up as well. I haven't actually, one of the other things I'm going to be doing is put a little bit of foliage on the cobblestones, or the granite sets, this is what they call them. I keep saying cobblestones. There's a little nail here and there's another one here just to hold it in position whilst it's setting, because the glue's still setting. And this is the bit that we're going to be working on to show you exactly how to do what I've achieved here. And I don't have a fancy compressor or airbrush or anything like that. I don't even have any weathering powders. The way I do it, or have done it, is just through ordinary household stuff that you can pick up in Sainsbury's or wherever you go, or B&Q or whatever. It's those sorts of places, the homewares places, supermarkets. It's not a specialist thing, and it's very, very cheap, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so here we are at the workbench, and we're going to be starting with this is what our weathering process. So this is what it looks like out of the packet. This is SSMP 204 from the Wheels kit, and it's a granite set, and this is how it comes. Now what I've done on the previous ones is I've trimmed the edge stones off when they've been met against one another, so they don't, so you can't see it basically. So you can't, if you can see that, it doesn't look right because it's two different sets, so I do it like that. So I've always trimmed it along. So we've now created this. This is going to be the next bit of the paving once you've crossed the rail, as you've seen, and I'll probably do some sort of diorama scenery here with whatever I've got. So I've now glued, as you can see, a couple of the sheets together using the Wheels contact adhesive. I've then filled it in to disguise the joins, and so on our shopping list today we're going to be needing some rail match paint, preferably a light colour, a grey colour, because that makes the effect more convincing. Some sponges, got an assortment of sponges here, and again you can go to Sainsbury's and I think you just get the cheapest ones, which are like the basics range, and you get about, like say, a pack of 3 for about 15p or something stupid like that. So you can get those. Shoe polish, black shoe polish. This is from, that I got from Sainsbury's for £1. Some more of the talcum powder that I also used when I did the seam section. Again, if you want to see how I did the seam section, there is a video out there. And also some Wilko's wood dye, which is also what I used. And in fact, the wood dye was actually used for the stonework. It won't actually be used for the cobblestones, but it was used for the dressed stone to give it that tinge. But I'll show you on another piece, a test piece that I just have lying about, and I'll probably show you that as well. So the first process is to paint it, and it's a very quick process. And the thing is with this is, don't do it in straight lines, just do it in a circular motion so it penetrates all the gaps. and it's all of this is just done in a matter of, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or so. But you can see just what I'm doing. I'm just basically just stippling it around. You don't have to be too careful with it, but just don't overload the paint so you don't lose any of the detailing in the granite sets. And that's pretty much what you've got to do all the way through until you've actually finished the whole painting process. So as you can see, it's virtually done, and this is literally taken a matter of minutes just to do this section, so it doesn't take very long. And the great thing about this is it's instant. And when I mean instant, I mean you don't have to wait for the paint to dry, because your next stage will dry it out for you automatically. And as before, you grab your talcum powder and you douse it, and that's what you're doing. So now you're saturating it. I think it's a bit of a messy job. Now you're also going to need a soft brush for this, and all you're doing is in a circular motion just putting it on, and circular motion, and you're essentially just drying out the paint and aging it at the same time. That's what you're doing. So we're now aging it, and the paint becomes touch dry. So you don't have to wait for it to dry, you don't have to wait for it to go off. And this is all using just regular household stuff, no specialists paints or as such, you know, it's just, or materials or flashy air gun or anything like that, airbrush. It's just stuff that you get from the supermarket. Now what I'm going to do is give it a tap, and that's all done, just like that. And if I touch it, you can see it's all dry. Run my hand over it, it's all dry. Just like that. Look, Tommy Cooper. So I'll just show you how it is at the moment. And you could leave it like this and it looks very nicely aged. It really does. But if you want to add that extra bit of realism, and again, our next stage is your black shoe polish, and you give that a bit of an open. So it's now open, and as you do, you take your sponge. As you can see, I've done this before with this sponge, and you just run it on your shoe polish like that, and in a circular motion, just lightly, just lightly, nothing too. Just like that. And now it looks like I've made a complete mess of what I was doing before. So you then take your soft brush again, small talcum powder, and you just start working it in and buffing it in. Now obviously you can see that this bit is looks like there's a bit patch missing, so you can always just go over it again. Just nothing to, just accent certain areas or whatever. Give it a bit of texture and everything, just different colours. Have it lighter in certain places. And then it just gives it the appearance of wear, and job done, just like that. Hey presto, you are now done. and that's how you do it. I hope it's come out well on this. Like I said, you can see certain areas are darker than others, there's certain areas which are just left, and it creates a nice mixed sort of pattern, and different colours, different shades, different areas which are worn more than others, and this is all done virtually instantly. So back on the layout, that section has now been put in. As you can see, it's now married up with this section, and now that will be ready to put in some diorama here and a bit of fencing and whatnot. The chimney stack will go right in a corner, and we're dressing some stone as well. Now the wood dye was used for the dressed stone, which is the first bit that I used here. Once it was painted, then I used the so it was painted first. Then I used the wood dye that I showed you, and because it was standing up, whereas in the seam section I did it flat and let it dry overnight so it wouldn't run. With this section, what I did is I dabbed it on the sponge and just dabbed it all the way along, and then basically used the talcum powder to then set it, and that's where we're at on that. And then on this side I've just smeared a bit more shoe polish just to give it a bit more, just to accent it a bit more, and also on the roof it was really effective, because you just literally just put the shoe polish on it and then you just did a circular motion on it, and you created this kind of patchy dark in the field where some parts are lighter than others. So that's a top tip for you. I hope it's of benefit to you. I hope you can use it, and thanks for watching as always. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.